President Xi also announced that over the next 5 years, China will provide 5,000 specialized AI training opportunities for developing countries and build international AI application cooperation centers for developing countries, including Africa countries, to support Africa's digital and innovative development. I believe that China and Kenya have promising prospects for future cooperation in information technology and artificial intelligence. We look forward to carrying out more practical cooperation to unlock the value of digital technology. Ladies and gentlemen, there's an old Chinese saying, it takes 10 years to grow a tree, but 100 years to cultivate people. Education and talent exchanges have always been an important component of the friendship and cooperation between China and Kenya. Over the years, Chinese government has provided opportunities for Kenyan students, government officials, and professionals to study and receiving training in China through government scholarships, bilateral training programs, short-term seminars, and medium long-term programs. A growing number of Kenyan youth have become participants in, beneficiaries of, and contributors to China-Kenya cooperation. Many have also become important bridges of friendship between the two peoples. Looking ahead, China stands ready to work with Kenya under the important consensus reached by our heads of state to further deepen cooperation in education, science and technology, and talent development. We will continue to provide opportunities for outstanding Kenyan young people to study, receiving training, and participate in exchanges in China. We will encourage closer cooperation among universities, vocational institutions, research organizations, and enterprises in our two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, when young people have dreams, a country has hope. When young people possess knowledge and skills, a country has a bright future. We are confident that under the leadership of His Excellency President Ruto, Kenya's young people will seize the historic opportunity presented by the digital economy and technological innovation and make even greater contribution to Kenya's economic and social development. We're equally confident that under the strategic guidance of our two heads of state and with joint efforts of all sectors of society, China-Kenya cooperation in education, science, technology, and talent development will reach new heights. In closing, let me once again extend my congratulations to all the award-winning students. I wish all the students every success in their studies and a bright and promising future. I wish Huawei ICT competition continued success, and I wish the friendship between China and Kenya continued growth from generation to generation. Thank you very much. Asante sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency Ambassador. At this point, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the PS ICT, Engineer John Tanui, to make his remarks and invite the CS. Welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable William Kapoko, Your Excellency, Ambassador of People's Republic of China, Kuo Yuan, Kevin Kuo, Huawei CEO, the Vice Chancellors and Principals representing institution here, and award winners, good morning. Your Excellency, we are here because of the great work of the young talent of Kenya. It is not easy to win in a competition bringing over 100 countries participating, and today we are here to celebrate this. Secondly, Your Excellency, I really want to thank Huawei for the infrastructure they helped to build in Kenya to support the Kenyan talent. The academies they have established in several of our universities, JKUAT, Machakos University, Avralti, and the others, has laid their infrastructure to support our young people. Your Excellency, also we thank them for the 30 years commitment, now almost 30 years commitment to our country to build talent and to support us in our infrastructure development. Your Excellency, all this is a result of your good work. We want to thank you for unlocking pathways for our young people. Your state visits to China unlocked some of these opportunities so that such programs can actually continue to thrive. we continue to celebrate the young Kenyans who continue to take advantage of these opportunities. Your Excellency, your visit to EU also unlocked so much opportunities. Now we have established something called Open Source Office in Kenya in partnership with EU and also the ITU, which will enable many of our young people develop softwares for global market. Your Excellency, also your visit to US through the Silicon Valley Roadshow unlock youth opportunities. We saw establishment of development centers, including Microsoft Development Center, which has over 500 young Kenyans working for global markets here in Kenya. We've seen also Amazon Web Services now with over 200 young people also serving global market. Apple Training Center at Strathmore also unlocking many opportunities. Your Excellency, we see also the partnership which has been developed through Huawei. We saw some of the speakers in the presentation who are partners with Huawei, who have got opportunities to work in the local ecosystem to create opportunities and to serve our country. Your Excellency, your work of unlocking opportunities for young people is immense, and we really want to thank you. Finally, Your Excellency, many young people have come through Huawei and working in our telecom sector, ICT sector, to ensure that we build our country. I'm proud to be one of the products that have gone through that training program. It's not easy, and when one wins in this platform, they might not be eloquent and speaking, but the capabilities that have been built in them is immense, and they are going to take our country to the next level. Now, Your Excellency, it's my pleasure to invite our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable William Kaboko, to give his remarks. Karibu Waziri.
Thank you, John. Your Excellency, Mr. President, allow me to ride on the protocol so established before, eloquently by Atieno, who, Mr. President, if you allow, we will make her an ambassador of young people in tech, so that she can tell the rest of Kenyans who are energetic like her that there is a lot in this space. Mr. President, first, allow me to thank you for accepting my invitation to get these students to come and say hello to you. We truly appreciate. We know that you have a busy schedule, but you have time for them because it is your clarion call that Kenya has talent. You've been telling us as a country, you've been telling the world that if you want experienced, young, talented Kenyans, people to work, Kenya is the place to go. And really, these students have brought Kenya to the world map in terms of talent, innovation, and they have done us proud, Mr. President. Allow me to thank the Huawei team, and more so Khadija, who went with the students to China. I had a chance to meet the students during the Connected Africa Summit, and I launched and I challenged them, you go do your thing, I will do mine, and mine was to bring them to you. So, and you can see, they even are in T-shirts, Mr. President. These young people don't even feel Baridi. But I know when they live here, they will be smiling because they have their president with them. Mr. President, I visited China, as you had sent me to go sign the agreement that the ambassador has talked about. And while there, I had a visit to the campus in Shanghai for Huawei. Mr. President, 300,000 employees in R&D. And I have just talked to the ambassador while waiting to see you and requested that from the grant that the Chinese president did announce, we should be able to get a number of Kenyans, probably 100, to be attached in that institution so that they can become trainers of trainers in our digital hubs. You have also heard that they announced a big grant of $5 billion to the South-South countries in terms of to support AI, AI training. And I'm hoping that Kenya will take the first step because we lead and others follow, so that we also lead in receiving the grant. On behalf of the ministry, Your Excellency, John has explained what it is we are doing in this space. And we hope that in the next year or so, we should have finished all the digital hubs that you're pushing us to do. And with that, Your Excellency, the young people of Kenya will have an opportunity to learn and use AI skills with our training that we will do with the Huawei Group. I don't want to say much. Mine was to just welcome you, Mr. President, to come and receive these great Kenyans who have made us so proud, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Good morning, everybody. Hamjambo. It's cold, right? Distinguished leaders, innovators, ladies and gentlemen, the future will not belong merely to those who master today's technologies. It will belong to those who imagine, invent, and build the technologies that the world has not yet conceived, but which will one day redefine economies, transform societies, and shape the future of humanity. Today, technologies powering the world include artificial intelligence, robotics, quantum computing, biotechnology, advanced semiconductor physics, autonomous systems, space physics, and the next generation communications. Tomorrow, however, the technologies that will shape our lives may be those who we cannot yet even name. That is why talent development is no longer simply an education agenda. It is a national competitive agenda. Nations that cultivate innovators rather than mere consumers of technology will be the nations that will lead the 21st century. I am therefore delighted to welcome all of you to State House this morning, and especially to celebrate a remarkable group of young Kenyans and their lecturers whose achievements have brought great honor to our republic. The 2026 Global Huawei ICT competition is the largest ICT skill competition in the world. It attracts more than 220,000 participants from over 2,000 institutions in more than 100 countries. Only 177 teams from 49 countries qualified for the global finals held in Shenzhen, China. I am immensely proud that all 3 Kenyan university teams returned home with global honors. The highest distinction came through our cloud truck team, which won the grand prize, the highest award in the competition and Kenya's first since joining the contest in 2019. Again, congratulations. Allow me to congratulate Kevin Tuwei, a lecturer at Tharaka University, together with Catherine Atieno of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, Brian Gugi of Mount Kenya University, and Salem Kim of Machakos University. Pongezi. Congratulations. Their achievement in cloud computing, artificial intelligence, big data, and digital infrastructure is a signal that Kenya possesses the talent required to build the cloud infrastructure, data centers, and artificial intelligence capabilities that will power our digital economy. I also congratulate our network track team, which won second prize. Congratulations, Franklin Mutizia, a lecturer at Machakos University, together with Denzel Zinga of Multimedia University, Robert Wambua of Kenyatta University, and Joy Wairimu of Cooperative University of Kenya. Pongezi. Their expertise in networking, cybersecurity, and wireless technologies represents the very skills required to secure our digital infrastructure and build the digital superhighway upon which our economy increasingly depends on. I extend special congratulations to our outstanding all-women computing team from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, led by yours truly, Ms. Esther Wairimu, a lecturer, together with Joan Nkatha, Malane Minayo, and Faith Masonic. This exceptional all-women team won second prize and in addition received the prestigious Women in Tech Award. Pongezi. Can they stand for us to see that great team? Tuwapigie makofi. Look at that. Beautiful and sharp. Pongezi. I also recognize PC Kinyanjui Technical Training College, whose team became the first Kenyan TVET institution ever to qualify for the regional finals of this competition. Again, to my good friend Steve and your team, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, these achievements are not isolated successes. They are evidence that Kenya is steadily becoming one of the world's leading sources of digital talent. That confidence is reflected in the continued investments made by global technology companies in our country. Huawei has become a valued partner in developing digital skills through ICT academies. Again, to Huawei, congratulations. Microsoft has established its Africa Development Center in Nairobi. Amazon Web Services continues expanding its presence, while Apple and many other technology companies are partnering with Kenyan institutions to develop advanced digital capabilities. These partnerships complement the outstanding work being undertaken by our universities, including the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, University of Nairobi, Moi University, Strathmore University, the African Advanced Level Telecommunications Institute, and many other centers of excellence whose graduates are increasingly recognized across the world. As government, we have matched these partnerships with deliberate investment. Through our Digital Superhighway program, we have deployed an additional 37,000 kilometers of fiber optic, established hundreds of digital hubs, trained more than 1.9 million Kenyans in digital skills, and enabled creation of over 350,000 digital jobs. These are not just figures. These are people. And I'm very proud that in the last 3 years, we've scaled things up around the digital space. And it started with us as government. When I came into office, I said, we are a tech society, and therefore we must move all our government services into a digital platform. I can proudly say today, 3 years down the road, that we had 350 government services on the digital platform. Today we have 25,000. And shortly, every government service I think we are approaching 85, almost 90% of government services. Shortly, we will clock 100,000 government services. We also moved government payments. You know, people used to pay government services in cash and in other forms. Today, we have moved all government services to be paid on a digital platform. Again, because we are a tech society. And for us to continuously improve on our human capital, which I have built, that it is the single most important asset that we have as a nation, our human capital. It is the reason why consistently we have invested in education, training, especially all the way to our TVETs and to our universities. If you check, this morning, we have advertised for another 20,000 teachers to add on to the 100,000 that we have already hired. Why? Because education is central to us equipping our human capital with what it takes to make them the best qualified asset that we have as a nation. As I talk to you, in Parliament, we have amendments to the Higher Education Loans Board program, again, that will now make it possible. And I said before, I will repeat again, it will now make it possible for every student placed in our TVETs and in our universities to get full funding for their courses. I have listened to Steve here, I have listened to Atieno and all the young people who are here. It is my commitment that each and every one of you who qualifies to go to a TVET or a university will pursue the course of your choice without the background of your parents influencing which course you do. It is not going to be dependent on whether your parents have the means. It will be dependent on your capacity and your talent, so that every child in Kenya gets an opportunity to be their best, irrespective of their social or economic background. It is the reason why our nation must make some bold steps into the future, confident that we can play in any league and we can compete with any nation. What you have achieved in this Huawei competition confirm to us that we can compete in any place with anybody. And I'm very proud of what you have achieved. We are investing in institutions that will anchor our knowledge economy for generations to come, including the Kenya Advanced Institute of Science and Technology, which I gave charter the other day, the rapidly growing Open University of Kenya, Konsa Technopolis, and internationally recognized innovation hubs that are positioning Kenya as Africa's capital of innovation. At the same time, we are creating the policy environment necessary for innovation to flourish. Our national cloud policy is operational. We are finalizing the National Artificial Intelligence Policy, and the National Data Governance Framework. We continue strengthening cybersecurity, data protection, and digital governance so that innovation is matched by trust startups. Startups connect to industry, and industry to global markets. Allow me to express my very sincere appreciation to Huawei for the nearly 3 decades of partnership with Kenya. Since launching the Huawei ICT Academy program, the company has worked with 61 institutions, trained more than 15,000 students, certified over 6,000 learners, and equipped more than 400 lecturers with internationally recognized digital skills. Through initiatives such as DigiTrack, and we saw quite an elaborate program around it, and community programs, Huawei continues expanding opportunities for young people, for women, and underserved communities across our country. I also thank the government and the people of the Republic of China, through Her Excellency the Ambassador, for the enduring partnership between our 2 nations in advancing digital transformation, innovation, and human capital development. Finally, I am delighted that Kenya is once again the first country in the world to launch registration for the 11th Huawei ICT competition. I encourage every student in our universities, colleges, and TVETs to participate. The next global champion could very well be sitting in a classroom somewhere in Busia, maybe Lodwar, maybe Wajir, somewhere in Lungalunga, Mombasa, Nairobi, maybe my village in Sugoi. And I am waiting for the outcome of the next competition. And I am very confident that we will surpass where we achieved this year. Congratulations to all of you, good people. You have made us very proud, and we will do our part in making sure that we give each and every one of you an opportunity to be their best. I'm very happy to see Vice Chancellors who are here. I see my good friend from Tharaka, the corner there. I was in his university the other day. I see my good sister, the Vice Chancellor of Jomo Kenyatta, and all the other good people who are here. And I have sat down with these Vice Chancellors and leadership of our universities on that table right there. You remember? Yes. We sat there on that table with them. When I came into office, we had a real challenge. Many of our universities faced very dire situations. Many of our universities could not pay even lecturers. They could not pay their suppliers. They had difficulties. And that is why we had to rework the funding model for our universities. We've made very good progress with our new student-centered funding model. And I want to tell our Vice Chancellors we will be engaging them as we now progress to even a better funding model that will make sure that every student has full funding for their education. That is the commitment I have made. I know many people are asking me, where are you going to find the money to fund these universities? And I want to tell them, what was said before. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance, and you will know which one is more expensive. So my commitment is that it is the single most important thing that we must do, because for us to move this country to a first world status, knowledge, education is central to that journey. It is what other economies have done to be able to make the move they have. It is what Kenya must do. And therefore, we have no option but to fund our knowledge, to get the best human capital. I have said no nation can develop beyond its capacity to think. If you cannot imagine the future, you cannot get there. If you cannot think about the future, you possibly may not even step in that direction. So I am very confident about the future of our nation, and I'm very confident about the young people who will make sure that that future becomes our reality. So congratulations, my good friends, to all the winners and the champions. Congratulations, Huawei and our friends. And I look forward to working with you. It's now my pleasure to launch the 11th edition of the Huawei ICT competition. And I look forward to many more students and many more universities participating as we go into the future. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Wonderful round of applause to His Excellency. And Your Excellency, with your permission, will now progress to the awarding of some of these categories that were there. So allow me to ask the following to flank His Excellency for this session: the CS and PS to the right of His Excellency, and Her Excellency the Ambassador and CEO Huawei to flank His Excellency, as we now call on the categories. And the first category is Network Track. And we have the lecturer, Philip Ochola, and the students are Lucy Gadu, Steve Mutisia, and Eric Nzai. If they can please come and receive the award from His Excellency. I'll repeat: Philip Ochola as the lecturer. We have Lucy Gadu, Steve Mutisia, and Eric Nzai. I think one of the students may not be present, but they'll receive on his behalf. So the team lead can receive from His Excellency. Facing the cameras, please. Then if we can have one photo together with the team that's there, so that, yeah, or you can have... Let's have the second category ready, cloud category, if you can. Wonderful, wonderful. If we can then just have one photo with the team that's there in one line. There you go. Thank you. Let's have the second category, Your Excellency, is the cloud category. And the cloud category is represented with the lecturer, Kevin Tuwei, and the students are Catherine Atieno. No, sorry, I think, yes, Catherine Atieno, Brian Gogi, and Salem Kim. And these are the grand prize winners. They are the ones who brought the grand trophy home and made Kenya proud. If we can have the wonderful. Catherine can receive it on behalf of the team. Then they can have the a photo with everybody. Oh. Wonderful. Then a photo with the rest of the team, please. And the next category is the network category. And this is represented by the lecturer, who is Esther Wairimo. No, Esther Wairimo, Joan Katha, Melanie Minayo, and Faith Mosonik. I believe this is the all-women team. A round of applause for them, please. Let's start with the medals. Start with the medals so that, yeah, let's start with the medals. Esther Wairimo, Joan Katha, and Melanie Minayo, and Faith Mosonik. And one photo with, one more photo with everybody, please, before we go to the last category. Thank you. And the last category, let's have Franklin Mutisia, Denzel Nzinga, Robert Wambua, and Joy Wairimo. That's Franklin Mutisia, Denzel Nzinga, Robert Wambua, and Joy Wairimo. All right, and then the trophy. Is there a trophy? Wonderful. And a photo with the trophy. Thank you. Your Excellency, the grand prize winners, I understand, also have a check of 1 million Kenyan shillings, which we'd like you to present to them. So the grand prize winners, kindly to come back and receive the check of 1 million shillings. Wonderful. We'll have you just stand in one line and have the check as part of the photo. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellency, we seek your indulgence for just 2 more photos. If I may have everybody. Okay. Okay, the photo is done, so we can exit, except the CSPS ambassador and Huawei CEO, and let's have the Huawei team come in for a photo. The Huawei team. As the sponsors of this whole event. Wonderful. Huawei team, you can retract, and let's have the lecturers and academia, I mean not lecturers, vice chancellors and academia to now come for a photo. Huawei team, you may take your seats, please. Thank you. Then you may take your seats, and Your Excellency, the last item is just the unveiling of the 11th cohort. So I'll request that we have that brought. Let's have the four remain, the CSPS ambassador and CEO to remain and flank His Excellency as we unveil. This was the 10th cohort for this particular exercise, but this will be the launch of the 11th cohort with the unveiling of that kitamba. We shall have the 11th cohort now. A round of applause. And with that, His Excellency has already spoken to it. We shall expect the 11th cohort now to be launched and represent Kenya. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. That brings us to the end of our session this morning, and we can finish with a word of prayer. Catherine, can I ask you to pray for us? Let's be upstanding as Catherine leads us in a closing prayer.
Okay, let's pray. Almighty Father, we come before you this morning. We thank you for this session. We thank you for this day. As we launch the Huawei ICT competition, the 11th edition, we pray that you may be with us. May all the students who are going to represent us well. And may you guide us and protect us throughout this day. In Jesus' mighty name we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen.